wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant, I don't even...
Welcome to episode 48 of the Fourth Down Forum podcast. Now, I do want to apologize. I wasn't able to get the video out before Thursday Night Football. So I did post Week 16 Thursday Night Football Pickems in the community post. We were wrong, guys. We were wrong. I picked the Broncos over the Chargers. I should have known they got a Harbaugh. They're going to win. I didn't. So that's on me. Now we got Saturday Night Football. We're in that weird space of time where you get not only Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, you also get Saturday Night Football and Sunday Night Football to go along with all of that. So we got 2 games on the docket for Saturday Night Football, by which the time this premieres, those games should be ongoing because I'm trying to have this uploaded by Saturday. The Texans and the Chiefs. Now, who do I have winning this game and why? The more things change, the more they stay the same. And I know we're going to get into another thing like Yo D Dirk, as some of my friends love to call me. Why are you wearing an Oilers hat? My guy, it went with the fit. Not everything is, oh, he's rooting for this team because of that. No. Those of you who know. It's the Ravens, forever and always, as you can see, surrounded by Leroom. But back to business. CJ Stroud has been struggling this year. The O-line has been struggling this year. The Chiefs are getting back. They recently just got back Pacheco not too long ago. On top of that, they are getting back Marquise Hollywood Brown. Now, being a former Raven, what I know about Marquise Hollywood Brown is that he has the burners. He is a speedy receiver. He does struggle with drops, but, he's got Mahomes throwing him the ball. So you pair Mahomes, D-Hop, Xavier Worthy, I'm taking the Chiefs to win it. The other hand, we got the Steelers and the Ravens, which used to be the greatest rivalry in the NFL. Not the oldest rivalry, that will forever and always be Chicago Bears, Green Bay Packers, but the greatest rivalry. And we, as Ravens fans and as Ravens players and whatnot, have gotten away from what used to make that rivalry great. But tomorrow is a perfect time to showcase what made that what made that rivalry great. Ground and pound run game with Derrick Henry. We don't really have much of another choice because Rashad Bateman is in a walking boot right now, so I doubt he plays. Deontay Johnson, and I could go on and on for days about the diva that is Deontay Johnson, but I'll refrain. So Zay Flowers and Nelson Aguilar, Nelly, got downgraded to out because of a concussion. He is probably not going to clear concussion protocol until Christmas Day. He might play the Christmas Day game. I would hope so. I'm going to that game. That said, until they give me a reason to pick them, I'm picking the Steelers over the Ravens. And it hurts my heart to do that. It does. And come here. I hope, for the love of God, that I am wrong. I really do. I want to be proven wrong on this for once. If Tucker gets back into form, yeah. And this isn't going to be like the Chiefs one where it's like, oh, Derek's going to switch it. He'll call an audible. No. I'm hoping they prove me wrong. I want the Ravens to win. I'm hoping the Ravens do win. But using logic, I'm picking them. And if that happens, the worst thing about it all is that they would win the AFC North in our home turf. I don't like when stuff like that happens. I didn't like when the Chiefs won the AFC conference game in our home turf. So I hope I'm wrong on that. let's get into it. Giants, Falcons. Listen. Michael Penix making his NFL debut in the throwback jerseys. High risk, high reward. I picked him up in one of my leagues. I'm hoping he balls out. I'm hoping he feeds Bijan, Drake London, all these other guys, because I'm probably going to start him over Russell Wilson in fantasy in one of my leagues. Why? Some people just want to watch the world burn. I just want to do something that has not been accomplished in my years of playing fantasy football. And that is I am trying to win the championship across all 3 leagues. All 3. But that said, I do have the Falcons winning that game. Lions, Bears, oh my. So, the last time we saw the Lions and the Bears matchup was Thanksgiving Day, I believe. And I think the Lions took that. I could be wrong. But I do have the Lions winning that game. They are going to be down knuckles, so I think it's going to be more of a passing offense. They still do got Sonic, so there's that. Cardinals, Panthers. This is a game that, unless you're a Cardinals or a Panthers fan, you are not going to you're not going to care about, let's be honest. That said, I have the Cardinals winning this game. The Panthers have been rebuilding since 2021, if not before then. And it's just crazy to see. Rams, Jets. Now, no. This might come back to bite me in the AWS. But I benched Rodgers, who has been putting up stellar fantasy performances, for Bo Nix. Bo Nix got me 25, so I'm not mad at it. I was hoping for a 30-piece, but I'll take 25. We'll see how that plays out. But I have the Rams winning this game. Eagles, Commanders. This is at FedEx Field. I like Jaden Daniels. He's a former Heisman winner. He's a former LSU quarterback. So being an LSU fan, there's everything to love about Jaden Daniels, right? I still do not think this team has enough built around them to beat the Eagles this late in the season. So I have the Eagles winning that game. Saquon, you got Devontae, you got A.J. Brown. Like, what are we talking about? Yeah, you got Scary Terry, you got Jaden Daniels, you got some guys over there. Now, the Browns and the Bengals. This game, y'all are going to think I'm trolling when I tell you who I'm about to pick in this game. The only thing I need from this game is for Joe Burrow to have a phenomenal game. But my good friend Issa brings up a good point. We were talking about it at work the other day. The Browns only play well or take their game seriously when they are division games. That said, this is a division game. And yeah, you know, it sucks. They lost Nick Chubb for the season. Personally, hurt some of my fantasy teams. I did pick up Jerome Ford in one of them. So hopefully, against a otherwise not too strong Cincinnati run defense, Ford can run all over them. We'll see what happens. But I got the Browns beating the Bengals in an upset. Titans, Colts. Now, in AFC South showdown, this is another game where I'm just like, okay, yeah, it's one. Cool. I have the Colts winning this game. I have no idea why I have the Colts winning this game. Maybe, and it's crazy because I'm wearing, you know, technically the Colts own the rights to this, which this right here, the Oilers, you know, history, logo, all that fun stuff, should have stayed with the city of Houston. I will double down on that. I get why it didn't. I understand it. You moved. But we could technically say the same thing, right? The Baltimore Colts, when they moved to Indianapolis, technically we should have all their rights. Cleveland should have all our rights, right? Well, it doesn't work like that sometimes, but that's just one of the many reasons I feel the way I feel about the Titans. Little side tangent. Their owner not trading us Derrick Henry last year when you could have got draft compensation. Instead, you just let him sign with us in free agency, which thanks for that. Then you trade DeAndre Hopkins to the Kansas City Chiefs of all people. Like, what are we talking about? So, the next game on the docket is the Vikings and the Seahawks. And, hi, been a minute. My friend Ann, she commented on the last or second to last Fourth Down Forum podcast that I pick against her team all the time, or majority of the time. And it does seem that way, right? But this one, I mean, this one, as much as I wanted to be like, okay, they got Mike McDonald, who is, let me just say, is a phenomenal head coach. The Seahawks, they'll be fine. But the Vikings, Jettas, Jordan Addison, Sam Darnold having a career year. I have to take the Vikings. I'm sorry. I am terribly sorry. But I'm even more upset about this next game. And because Patriots Bills, me and you have an enticing fantasy football matchup in the playoffs. I was scouring the waiver wire. I was like, yeah, I'm going to lock in this defense, this, because they're playing them. And no, you sniped them from me. Just crazy. Crazy to see. But you did get the Bills defense. The Bills-Patriots is the next game we're going to talk about, an AFC East matchup. And this one's a no-brainer. The Bills are going to steamroll the Patriots. The Jags-Raiders. Now, the only image in my head for the Jags-Raiders matchup is an image from work, right? Because for those of you who don't know, or you may know, I work retail for a sports memorabilia company. We'll leave it at that. So this sports stuff is 24/7 for me. I don't just come home and then, sports stop. No, like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to make a career out of. Like, I started this channel with my boy 3 years ago from scratch. We are now currently sitting at 246 subscribers. And I have had the privilege and the honor of sitting there and inspiring and helping other people. And this isn't me trying to, boost my own ego or anything. It's just relatable to what I'm talking about. I've had the privilege to help them be like, they were like, I don't know if I can start a channel. I was a small part in that journey to helping my friend Big Mike over on the Run and Wrestling podcast, for example. He was unsure of starting a podcast, and I was like, brother, you have the knowledge, you have the intellect, do it. And I think they just cracked 100, so, yeah. I had another guy come in to my job recently. We chopped it up. We got to talking about podcasts because he mentioned his. Gave him some advice on that, He seems to be pretty good at it, pretty consistent with what he's doing. So I love to see stuff like that. But I say all this to say the image at work is we have a table, right? And it's a better luck next year table for teams that are either not in the playoffs or on the verge of being eliminated from the playoffs. The Jags and the Raiders are both on that table. And yeah, week 2, the Raiders did beat my Ravens. So, it happens. Football's weird. We beat the Jags last season. But I think the Jags are the healthier team, so I'm going to take them to win this one. Then you get the 49ers and the Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins, phenomenal color scheme. They play in Florida, right? The Niners, their running back is going to be Deebo Samuel. I think I said this the last podcast I did. Their running back is going to be Deebo Samuel. They lost McCaffrey. They lost Mason. They lost, what's the other guy? Garindo, however you pronounce his name. I may have butchered it. I do apologize for that. They're down to Debo. Ayuk is not playing. He is hurt right now. They still got Kittle. They still got Debo. They got Purdy. That said, though, I think the Dolphins are the healthier team. Tyreek, Tua, their run game is phenomenal. I'm picking the Niners to beat the Dolphins. Backwards. I'm picking the Dolphins to beat the Niners. Bucks, Cowboys. Now, this game is interesting for many reasons. Because of that little pivot that I had to do, because my good friend Ann picked up the Bills defense because she is playing to win. And I am trying to defend my fantasy football championship in that league. And hold on for dear life. Because, our good friend Harith, he somehow got the 1 seed. It's fine. It's cool. We'll see what happens. But because of that, I did have to pick up the Buccaneers defense. Because I don't trust the Lions defense because of all the injuries they've sustained. Crazy to see. But the Cowboys have also sustained injuries. I think Diggs is out for the year again, I believe. I saw something about that. I was talking to, my boss who's a Cowboys fan. You can never have Bland and Diggs on the field at the same time. His words, not mine. But I'm picking the Bucks to beat the Cowboys. I think they're just a better all-around team. And then we wrap things up with, I believe this is Monday Night Football, Saints-Packers. Those of you who know me know the Packers are my second team. They will for always and ever be my second team. Nothing could place them above the Ravens. The Ravens is home. The Ravens is where the heart is. That is the team that when, for those of you who don't know, I didn't get into football when I was younger. My dad tried his damnedest to get me into football, but the quarterback was Kyle Bowler. We ended up moving to Texas. My dad didn't live in the state at the time. And, my freshman year of high school, I was going through a rough patch. I was trying to figure things out. Turn on a game back in January. Happens to be the Ravens AFC Conference Championship game. Which, side note, yeah, that's a hell of a game to introduce you to football, ain't it? Watching Billy Cundiff and Lee Evans, or let's say it the other way around. Lee Evans dropping a game-tying touchdown pass, followed up by Billy Cundiff shanking a game-tying field goal. Yeah. It was fun stuff. That said, the Saints just lost Alvin Kamara. So pieces of my fantasy teams everywhere across all 3 leagues are just trying their damnedest, right? Because I forgot to mention the Steelers-Ravens game, there was a key factor there too. Pickens isn't playing. So Baltimore may have a better chance than I'm giving them. We'll see. But yeah, I'm picking the Packers over the Saints in this game. I believe that covers everything for the Week 16 NFL Pickems. I know I had told y'all that we were going to do college football playoff Pickems. I have not had the time on my hand, and for that I do apologize. Scheduling should calm down and should go back to consistent. I want to say second week of January, because I do have inventory coming up for my job. But I should be able to get back into the swing of, hey, we're going to do, wild card weekend, divisional, conference. Then we'll get into, we might do something with the combine, because that's something we haven't done on the channel. And that's sports related. free agency. We always do a free agency frenzy episode. That will be done. The Fourth Down Forum annual mock draft. I know y'all look forward to that every year. Probably going to start cooking that up with Michael probably here soon. Maybe as soon as going to this game, driving up on the way to, watch the Texans-Ravens play. That said, y'all, thank you for the continued love and support. I do appreciate it. I would not be here or be where I am today without y'all. We are working behind the scenes on some stuff. I don't want to give too much away, but I am trying to look into getting a third sponsor for the channel. So I'm hoping things go my way for that. If we get that, the details will come out on the community page. I'll post it there. I'll post it on the Twitter page. And yeah, much love. Thank you for the love and support. And I will see y'all here for episode 49.
Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000